Little Nightmares is developed by a studio out of Sweden and published by Bandai Namco in 2017. The game is a 2.5D horror puzzle platformer released for the Switch, PlayStation 4, Windows, Xbox One, and also compatible on next-gen consoles. It's a game made up of, well, you guessed it, nightmares. You play as a little girl named Six, escaping what they call the Maw, which from what I gathered is some kind of underwater floating ship dungeon thing. I found the puzzle platformer to be seductively alluring, pulling you into the depths of its world but without much of any direction. Figuring out the controls was a bit painful due to this, but when you finally figure out what you're doing and trying to achieve, you'll have most likely already missed some things, only to draw you back in to replay chapters. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but could frustrate some nonetheless. It'll take you roughly 2 to 3 hours for the main story and between 10 and 15 hours to complete in total, minus the DLC, which in today's gaming world really leaves you wanting a slightly longer story. There is a sequel announced and currently available for pre-order and releases February 11th, not to take away from the foundation the first game lays, but hopefully the sequel gives you a bit more to sink your teeth into. Little Nightmares totally nails the creep factor and does a fantastic job of setting the tone throughout the entire game. As this little girl searching your way through this place room by room, the game makes you start asking questions about what is really going on, and that's exactly what draws you in as you try to gain your bearings. The game's wordless world doesn't revoke how masterful the game's audio is, which is why I highly recommend playing the game with headphones, as the immersion truly takes a step forward with them. From every creak and disturbing sound to when the game builds the anticipation with its silence, it truly adds depth to the game's overall performance. From some guy that hung himself to the gluttonous creatures crawling over themselves to get to you, the game's highly disturbing images cast aside any doubt of what kind of universe you're truly in. Like a game of hide and seek, the worry and stress rise as you try to avoid being caught and ultimately reset to your last checkpoint, which may give some of you headaches when repeating the process due to slightly longer load times. The game itself is divided up into 5 chapters, giving end once you've escaped the level's boss. If you're looking for a game to hold your hand and walk you through the story, then this might not be for you, but for a game that lends its hand to a lot of creep, a bit of mystery, and some filling in the dots for yourself, it's definitely a fun game to play. Although the game costs $20 for the standard and $30 for the complete edition, which includes the DLC, you might get close to the barcode value system, but only if you're one to achievement hunt. Although at first the game may start off confusing, I found myself truly enjoying everything the game had to offer as I finished walking up that final staircase. For a platformer, a genre of game I don't typically dip my toes in, unless you're Crash Bandicoot, it definitely changed my perspective on what current day platformers can be, opening my eyes to other similar games on the market such as Limbo, Ori, and Unravel. So my final grade on this one is a B. The gameplay and graphics make up for the technical and learning curve side of things once you get rolling, and at a solid $20, you can't ask for a better horror platformer. Absolutely recommend this game to put a little bit of time into. You won't regret it, I promise. Thank you for watching the review. If you have any questions or comments, drop them below, and if you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Be sure to keep your eye out for Little Nightmares 2 releasing this month. Till next time.